Fantastic. It looks like it's finally working. Woohoo! So, tanse everyone. Oki bonzu. Hello. My name is Chantel. I am Cree, Anishinaabe, and Métis from Muskeg Lake Cree Nation in Saskatchewan. And I'm just really thankful and humbled to be able to share for another live stream. No, my last view have been short and sweet, and it's been busy. So happy June. June is National Indigenous Month, and so it's been crazy. It's been a whirlwind. It started off as a day, then a week, now it's like an entire month, and that's still not enough time for, for all the people who are doing the work in community to get it all done. Plus, it's the end of the school year, so it's a little insane, but it's awesome because I get to hang out with kids a lot. And so I just wanted to welcome everyone today. I live here in Mulkinstis, which is in Treaty 7 territory in Calgary, and I'm just really thankful to live here. The more I think about it, the more I just really love this this place, the energy of the place, the rivers, even though right now it's a little scary, we're getting those flood mitigation warnings and things like that because it's been raining non-stop. But, we know all of these things always go in cycles, and so we just have to trust that Mother Earth is correcting those cycles, and we have to stop controlling her and just start going with her and go with the flow. And so it's just really about honoring that place that we're in and recognizing that nature isn't something to be controlled, it's something to live in part and beside and with. And so I'm just really, really honored and humbled to be living here, even though I'm from Muskeg Lake, which is in Treaty 6 territory, not far from Saskatoon. It has been a really long week. I live here and I honor the Blackfoot of Siksika, Gaina, and Gani. And my elders there that have really guided me every step of the way, and I'm so, so thankful for the knowledge that they carry, the grace that they carry, the strength that they carry, and the laughter. I laugh so much with some of my elders, and I think that's such an important and beautiful gift. I also want to honor the Stoney Nakoda from Morley, which includes Chiniki, Bearspaw, and Wesley First Nations, and the people of Tsutsuna. And I'm very thankful to have been out there fairly recently to go sweat, and just that connection to the land, that reconnection to the land, because sometimes you get so busy and you forget to connect to the land. And so to welcome everyone into the circle today, I wanted to share with you the Cree Welcome song. Traditionally when we sing songs, we sing in rounds of 4, to honor the 4 directions of the medicine wheel. This song, a little bit different. We sing it in rounds of 3 to keep the circle open and welcoming so everyone completes the circle today. Because in a circle, we're all connected. There's no beginning, there's no end. No one is greater or less than anyone else in the circle, just like in the hoop of life. So it teaches us to honor each other for those differences. Because if we were all exactly the same, the world would be incredibly boring and nothing would ever get done. And I'm starting to see that more and more. I think it's funny. We try to emulate these people in the media, and well, why? We are unique and amazing all on our own. We don't have to emulate that. And we're all important in the circle. And so, yeah. I just wanted to begin with the welcome song, the Cree Welcome song from the Natahau family, and I thank the Natahau family for keeping this song alive. We sing it in 3 to keep the circle open and welcoming, and they have done this incredible job of sharing this song to welcome so many people into the community, and to welcome so many people in with these teachings into events and just into each other's lives in such a beautiful way. And so this song has really been instrumental to that, and we keep that circle open. I think that's so important to remember, to keep our circle open, to keep our heart open, to remember to expand and contract as we need to. And so this song from the Natahau family, it doesn't just mean welcome, because it does welcome all of our ancestors. And I feel like I always have to begin with this song because it does call in my ancestors to support me in a good way. And so Miyasin doesn't just mean welcome, but it also means beautiful. Miyasin, Miyasin, Hasemina, Hasemina, Epetakote, Niwagomagan, Hota, Homa, Kita skin ho. Miyasin, Miyasin, kote niwa gomagan hota homa kita skino miasen miasen hasemina hasemina epetakote niwagomagan hota homa kita skino. Hi, and welcome to the circle today, everyone. And so today I wanted to share a bunch of stories. I've been singing all day, so my throat's a little sore. So it's important to stay hydrated, but it's also important to share a story. And so I haven't shared the Raven story in a long time, so I'm going to share the Raven story because it's just such a fun story, and I love just the moral of it and the connection that we have to it. And so this story is a Cree story, but it's also a Cherokee story. It's kind of a mixture. And the song at the end is the Cherokee. We don't call it Cherokee. But yeah, in the song itself, you can hear this story. And so a long time ago, before we were created as the two-leggeds, because we walk around on two legs, the world looked really different. So all of the animals were trying to find their purpose. Everybody was trying to discover who they were and what they were going to do with the world. Some of them had already discovered their purpose and they were really thriving. And others, struggling, but they were starting to figure it out. And some of them looked really different, and one of them that looked incredibly different was the Raven. Now the Raven had these gorgeous rainbow feathers, and so no matter which way you looked at him, he looked like a different color of the rainbow. And because of this, he started to get a little full of himself. He started catching sight of himself in puddles and going, I am so gorgeous. And then he'd catch sight of himself in a pond and go, I am so fabulous. And then he kept walking and he would see himself in a stream and go, I am magnificent. And then he would keep walking and then he would see himself in another body of water and think, I am so incredible. I am incredible and fabulous and beautiful and gorgeous and marvelous and fabulous. I must be the most special animal ever. I must be the best animal ever. And so, believing this, he started walking around telling all of the other animals and critters and all of his friends that he was the best. And all of the animals said, well, no, Raven, like, you're not the best. Everybody is good in their own way, and everybody has different things that they're going to learn and teach the two-leggeds, different purposes, different things that we do to make the world a better place. And so we're all special in our own way. And the Raven said, yeah, except I'm obviously the most special than anyone, because have you seen my feathers? I am a rainbow and gorgeous and fabulous and marvelous and wonderful. I can fly, and I'm really smart, so obviously I'm the best. And so all the animals started to think, well, they didn't have the rainbow feathers, and they couldn't fly, well, some of them, but maybe Raven was right. Maybe Raven was the best. But if Raven was the best, maybe they weren't special at all. And so they stopped doing what made them amazing. The pollinators stopped pollinating, the plants started to dry, the cleaner stopped clean, and all of the world started to become just filled with garbage. And all of the animals stopped doing what made them amazing, and the whole world just started to crumble and fall apart. And the bear, who keeps everything in balance, woke up from a really long nap and looked around and said, whoa, wait a second, what is going on here? Why is the whole world falling apart? Whew, I better go investigate this. And so the bear went to the smartest animal he knew, the animal that represents wisdom, the beaver. And so he turned around and he got to the beaver and he said, Beaver, what is going on around here? Nobody's doing what they love and everybody looks really bored and the whole world is falling apart. And then the beaver turned around and the bear said, Whoa, Beaver, what happened to your teeth? And the beaver, who had stopped cutting down trees, well, when beavers don't cut down trees, their teeth keep growing and growing and growing, and it was out of hand. And so the bear said, what has happened? And the beaver said, well, Bear, I stopped cutting down trees because the raven said that he was better than me and everyone else, and so I just stopped doing what made me special, and they just kept growing and growing and growing, and now they're out of hand, and I'm bored, and my teeth are really uncomfortable, and I don't even know why I really stopped, Bear. And the bear said, well, that's ridiculous. Nobody's greater or less than anyone else. And the beaver said, well, I know that. And the bear said, well, then why did you stop? And the beaver thought for a moment. She said, I don't know. I knew better than to compare myself to someone else. But, oh, Bear, I made a big mistake. I'm going to go back to cutting down trees, not only because it's going to really help with my teeth, but it's what I love to do. And so, as the beaver started to cut down trees again, not only did her teeth get back to normal, but all of those beautiful little animals downstream finally got a drink, and they were incredibly thirsty. And so the bear decided, okay, you know what, Beaver, you get back to doing what makes you amazing, but let's go talk to our friends and make sure everybody feels special in their own way. And then let's go deal with the raven so this situation doesn't happen again. And so the bear and the beaver went around telling everyone how incredible they were and watching as they all went back to doing what they loved and feeling a lot less bored and feeling a lot more important in the world. And as they did, the world came back to life. All of the pollinators were pollinating, so the plants started growing again. All of the cleaners were cleaning, so there wasn't a hot mess everywhere. Everyone got back to doing what made them amazing and was much happier for it. And then the bear went and found the raven. And the raven was sitting there admiring his feathers in the lake and said, Bear, have you seen my feathers? I am the most gorgeous, fabulous, beautiful, incredible, magnificent creature in the entire world. I am the best. And the bear said, Raven, no, you're not. Yes, you have amazing feathers and you can fly and you're smart, but that doesn't make you greater or less than anyone else. You're unique in your own way, but everyone else has their own special talents and gifts and things they get to contribute to the world and things we get to teach the two-leggeds when they arrive. So we're all special in our own way. And the raven said, no, because obviously I'm the most special and I'm the best. And the bear said, no, you're not. In fact, Raven, you're making everybody feel bad, and that's not nice at all. And the raven said, it's not my fault that everyone knows that I'm the best, and so they shouldn't even try. And the bear said, that's ridiculous, and no, you're not. And the raven said, yes, I am the best. And the bear said, no, you're not. And the raven said, yes, I am. And the bear said, no, you're not. And the raven said, yes, I am. And the bear said, no, you're not. And the raven said, yes, I am. And the bear said, no, you're not. And the raven said, yes, I am. And the bear said, no, you're not. And the raven said, yes, I am. And the bear said, no, you're not. And the raven said, yes, I am. And the bear said, no, you're not. And the raven said, yes, I am. And the bear said, fine, if you're the best, why don't you prove it? And the raven said, psh, of course I could prove it because I am the best. And the bear said, okay, why don't you go and catch the sun? Because only the best animal could catch the sun. And the raven, who was determined to prove that he was the best, even though he knew better than no animal could catch the sun, he said, of course I could catch the sun because I am the best. And so without thinking, he started to fly higher and higher and higher towards the sun. And ooh, it was getting warmer and warmer. And ooh, it was very hot towards the sun, but he was determined to prove that he was the best. So he flew higher and higher, and his feathers started smoking a bit. That's a little awkward, but he was determined to prove that he was the best. So he flew higher and higher and higher and said, I am the best, until his feathers burst into flames, and he was like, fire! And he tried to put on the flames, and he lost control, and he's crashed into the ocean. And as he pulled himself to the shore and he looked down, his feathers, they weren't rainbow anymore. They were completely burned, totally singed. And he was mad. How could the bear play such a mean trick on him? And so he started marching angrily over to their, well, actually, he's a bird, so he started hopping angrily over to the bear. And on his path, he passed all of the animals that he had made feel bad. And he stopped and he watched. And as he did, he watched as the pollinators went from plant to plant to plant, helping those flowers grow. He thought, wow, you are all so incredible. I could never do that. Oh, friends, I'm so sorry I didn't see how amazing you were. I'm sorry I didn't see your talents. And he looked down at his own feathers, and he didn't feel special at all. And he thought about how awful it must have felt for his friends to feel like they weren't special either. And he apologized. He said, friends, I'm sorry for making you feel like you were less than incredible. You're right. You're amazing in your own way. And I'm sorry. And so he apologized. He continued to apologize. He heard a buzzing behind him, and he looked up in the tree and saw a beautiful bee's nest. And in the beehive, he watched as they made honey, and he thought, wow, bees, this is incredible. I didn't know you could do this. And he tasted it. He's like, that's delicious. And he said, wait a second. You guys make this with puke in your butts? That's gross. Okay, it's really tasty. Okay, I'll forgive you. And he said, you're amazing in your own way. Weird, but amazing. And I'm sorry for making you feel bad. And he continued on his path. Then he watched as different cleaners started cleaning up. He watched as the wasps flew around cleaning up all of the dead debris that nobody wanted, but they did. And they made an incredible place. They created the beautiful nests, really complicated, gorgeous nests, from all of the debris that they had found. He almost stepped on an ant and he said, whoa! But then he watched and he said, wow, you're such a little ant. I had no idea how strong you were. Look at how you're just lifting things and like so many times your own weight. I could never do that. You're so strong. And then he watched as a whole bunch of ants worked together to clear away debris and clean up. And he thought, wow, ants, look at you working together. You're going to teach the two-leggeds all about community and all about cooperation. I could never do that. That is such an incredible gift. You're so special in your own way. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I thought that you weren't special. I see now that you're all incredible. Please forgive me. And they said, sure. Can you get out of the way so we can finish our work? And he's like, oh, sorry. And he moved on. And as he went, he saw all of the animals that he had made feel bad, and he watched as they did what made them incredible. He watched as a woodpecker pecked and pulled little bugs out of the trees, not only so we could have a meal, but so it would protect the trees. And he said, ow, that would give me a headache. That's incredible. Look how gifted you are. I'm sorry for thinking I was better than you. I see now you're incredible. He heard a big chomp, chomp, chomping sound, and he turned around to see the beaver knocking down a tree, and he said, Beaver, that is incredible. You cut down that tree with your teeth? And look how strong you are, dragging it into the river, and wow, look how innovative you are, creating that dam. And then he looked downstream as the dam backed up the river, and he saw, look at how you're leaving some fresh water, some still water for all those little animals to drink. Wow, Beaver, you're incredible. You help the community and create a beautiful home. Oh, Beaver, I'm sorry I didn't see how incredible you were. I see it now, and I'm sorry for making you feel bad. And the Beaver said, that's fine. I'm good now. Now that her teeth were nice and trimmed, she was much better. And he continued on his path, apologizing to everyone as he passed, until he got back to the bear. And he said, Bear, I am sorry. You were right. I'm not better or worse than anyone else. Actually, now I'm much worse. I'm not special at all, but I see how incredibly special everyone else was. I apologize to everyone, Bear, but I still feel so bad because look at me. I'm not special anymore. And the bear said, no, Raven, you're very special. And the Raven said, I am. And the bear said, yes, of course. You learned a valuable lesson. And the Raven said, I did. And the bear said, yes, you learned about humility. And the Raven said, humility? That's a weird word. What does that even mean? And the bear said, well, humility is the ability to not take yourself so seriously. It means not comparing yourself to someone else, but just acknowledging how beautiful and incredible and amazing everyone is in their own way. It's not comparing yourself to someone else, but just appreciating people and things for what they do, knowing that nothing's greater or less than anything else, but everyone is equal in their own way. And the Raven said, yeah, I suppose I did learn that. And the bear also said, humility is also not taking yourself so seriously, Because if you weren't taking yourself so seriously, Raven, you wouldn't have flown into the sun. You knew better. And the Raven said, "You're right, Bear. I did know better than to fly in the sun. I mean, what was I thinking? It was actually a pretty good trick, Bear." Trick? Trick? Hey, Bear, do you think I could play tricks on everyone to teach them about humility? And the bear said, "I suppose so." And the Raven, for the first time ever, got his voice as he started to laugh. "Ah, ah, 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 ah! You're right, Bear. I am going to teach everyone about humility by playing tricks on them." And so from that point forward in all of our stories, the Raven became the trickster. But still to this day, if you look at a raven's feather, it has a little shimmer of rainbow to remind him to stay humble. And that is the Raven story. And now we're going to sing the Raven song. So the Raven song is broken up into 3 parts. It's a part that we sing all together. It's a part where we shout out, let our happy sound out, and then there's a part where we echo each other, because that's really important to acknowledge each other's voices. So, and so I'm going to go ahead and sing it. All right. And this is the Raven song. And it's a raven song in the raven story. I want to sing to honor the water tonight. Just because I think it's really important that we remember that we have our relationship with the water. We have to honor and respect it. Not control it, not confine it, but honor it. Know that we have those ebb and flows like the river. And so this song, when I hear it, I hear the rain coming down and then the thunder and the lightning. And it's because my name is she who sings and drums with spirits in a storm. So of course that's what I'm going to hear. I'm going to hear this storm. My cousin, her name is River Singing Woman. And so when she hears it, she hears the river flowing. So of course she hears the river flowing, and she hears those rapids and eventually a huge waterfall. Now my other cousin, she lives in Vancouver, so she can hear the ocean rocking back and forth, and then the waves crashing. And so we all hear water in our own way, but we were arguing about what the song was called. And, you know, I was like, it's the rain song. And then my cousin was like, no, it's the river song. My other cousin's like, no, it's the ocean song. And so as we were arguing, my auntie comes up behind us and said, what's wrong with you girls? It's the water song. So it's the water song. We were told. Put in our places. And so it's really about that ebb and flow that we have with the water, the connection, the relationship, how water can be very gentle and nurturing and loving, but it can also be very strong and powerful, and we need to respect that chaos and that recreation that it brings. Because sometimes after the biggest destruction, we see the biggest amount of growth, and that's even within our own lives. So it teaches us we can't be happy all the time, or else we wouldn't appreciate it. So we need those low moments as well as those high to appreciate those moments more and to really grow, because stagnant water will never grow. And so this is the water song. We start slow and we get faster. Wishita do ya do ya do ya, wishita do ya day, wishita do ya wishita do ya day, wishita do ya wishita do ya day, wishita do ya wishita do ya day, wishatneya hiya hiya, 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 wishita do ya wishita do ya day, 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 wishatneya hiya hiya, 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 wishita do ya wishita do ya day, 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 wishatneya hiya hiya, 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 wishatneya And that is the water song. I'm going to do the laughing song because I'm going to laugh at myself right now. So I have been ripping my whole house apart, looking for looking for a drill and my 2 batteries that go with the drill. And I just found it, and it was sitting on my desk staring at me the entire time for the last 3 weeks while I've been looking for it. And I just noticed it now. Yes. So yes, I think it's important to laugh at yourself because hilarious. Okay. So I'm gonna have a sip of water too because that song always makes me thirsty. Okay. Humility. Yeah, I got a lot of that. So this is the laughing song. It goes back and forth. Way hi yo, way hi yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way ho, way ho, way ho, way ho, way ho, way ho. Way hi yo, way hi yo, way ho, way ho, way yo, way ho, way ho, way ho, way ho, way laugh at yourself, especially when you do something ridiculously silly. Ooh, I'm just heard a nice beautiful clap of thunder, so I'm going to share the Thunderbird song. And so the Thunderbird, well, it teaches us about fate or destiny. It's that force that pushes us forward. In the Thunderbird song, or sorry, in the Thunderbird story, actually, she changes her mind. She understands that, you know, sometimes you have to give in, you have to change your mind, you have to compromise, and for the betterment of community. And it took her, you know, kind of losing her mind a little bit and chasing Wisakajack, who always gets into trouble, to really see the value in what he was trying to show her. Maybe not in the best way, because it's Wisakajack and he always shows her in the worst way. He always shows things in the worst way. He's just a constant source of trouble and headaches for like everything in creation, that Wisakajack, which he's kind of like Nappy in Blackfoot or Nanaboju in Anishinaabe, so troublemaker. Yeah, but to me this song represents perseverance. It teaches us that everything does happen for a reason. And sometimes some of the worst things can happen for the best reasons. Like me getting hit by a truck, you know, 10 years ago. It put me on this path. And yes, it sucked getting hit by a truck, and it hurt a lot. And the surgeries that have come since have been crummy, but it put me where I needed to be. And I'm so thankful for that and humbled by that. And yeah, everything does happen for a reason. It puts you on the path that you need to be on. And if you're not paying attention to those little nudges that the Thunderbird is giving us, eventually you're going to get kicked in the butt by the Thunderbird and put on the right path. So pay attention to your intuition, because that's your internal Thunderbird. That's your ancestors and your spirit talking through you and to you. If your life is getting progressively harder and harder and harder, you might be on the wrong path, and your Thunderbird might be like, hey, 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 until finally, nope, because that's what she does. And so, yeah, this is the Thunderbird song, to really honor that fate, that destiny, that thing that pushes us in the direction that we need to be in. So next week, I don't know if I'm going to be here or not, so it depends on if I can set up my live stream where I'm performing, where I'm presenting. If so, woo, you're going to see me in a different venue, which is going to be super cool. If not, that's okay too, because it's National Indigenous Day. I recommend that you get out there in community. There's so many incredible things happening, and so it's just a gift. It's so incredible to think of where we are. Even like a decade ago, we didn't have this much happening, you know, so let alone 20 years ago. There wasn't so much, you know, performers and presenters and storytellers and drummers and singers and elders and knowledge keepers sharing in such a good way. And so it's such an incredible gift to be where we're at. Do we have a lot more work to do? Absolutely, but look at how far we've come, and it gives us hope for those steps that we're taking in the right direction. And so for National Indigenous Day, it's well, it's not just one day, it should be all the time. It shouldn't just be 1 month, it should be all the time, because there's so many incredible people that make such an impact, whether it be in community, whether it be in schools or in different corporations when they come and speak and teach. But I think it's a gift to be able to share, not just in one day, not just in 1 month, but year round. It's such an amazing gift. And so we need to have more of these activities, more of these learnings, more of these teachings, and understand more about community in a meaningful way. And so, yeah, but the reason that the 21st is so incredible, well, the solstice, I'm not sure, does it fall on the actually 21st this year? Usually it hovers around the 20th, 21st, or 22nd. But the solstice is a time where we just give thanks. We give thanks for that abundance that we're about to have. All of the seeds have been planted, all the seeds have been sowed, all of those things are starting to grow to fruition. It's really wonderful. Not only that, but it's all those seeds that you had laid in the seasons prior. They're starting to kind of take form, and everything's illuminated. It's really about the time of illumination. We have the most sun than we have throughout the year, and so it gives us the time to reflect the most in and see things for what they are. So it's a time of truth. So this is the time when all of that truth is starting to build up and build up and build up and come forward. And so it just, all that truth, like the floodgates open when that sun is just like, bing, here's your truth. And it gives us that moment to like reflect on it, to take it all in, to use those building blocks of truth, and then move forward for that growth for the season ahead. And so the solstice has always been a time where we've celebrated life, and where we've celebrated the sun for all that Grandfather Sun gives us to this earth. So Grandfather Sun and Grandmother Moon, they work in unison. But this particular celebration is about the sun, because that's when we see the sun the longest. Whereas the winter solstice is about the moon, where we see the moon the longest, and where Grandmother is really resting her bones. And so, yeah, I'm just really excited to sit in ceremony on the 21st. So I really encourage you to seek out ceremony if you can, or do your own ceremony. That ceremony of reflecting on that truth that you need in your life. All of the things that you have done in the past, 3 months, well, since the equinox, and all of those seeds that you have laid that are starting to come to fruition. It's recognizing those gifts that you have. It's recognizing the growth that you have really come through into, and seeing that come to fruition. And you have a lot more growth, but you're seeing those building blocks of that growth that's going to lead you forward. And it's recognizing those things with gratitude. I think sometimes we forget, because we're so like, oh, we want that end result. I think in our society as well, we want that end result, that we forget to like look back on all that growth. So this is why I think it's important to look back on how much growth we have come through. Even in the last 25 years, look how much growth we've come through towards understanding of Indigenous culture and knowledge and ways of knowing, all of that knowledge that we have come to share in a public sphere without fear, as much as before. And think of where we're going to be going in the next 25. And so that's really a beautiful way to welcome in that sun, to welcome in that year ahead, and to welcome in the new season. And so, yeah, this, I don't even remember what song I was going to do, but let's do the Creator Song, because I think it's a gift. And this song I received, well, I received back from my friend Night Sun, who I miss terribly, and I don't know where they might be. So if anybody knows, please pass on my information and say, call me, because I really miss you. And I was just really, really worried. So yes, please send my information and my love. Yeah, this song is a Creator song. It is a Cree song, and in it, it really teaches us about honoring creation, recognizing that we're not above or below creation, we're part of it. And when I first learned this song through Night Sun, I felt like I knew it, and it just knew me in my core, in my bones. And then I went to my great aunt to share it with her, because I love to share songs with her. And as I was drumming and singing the song, she started singing with me, and I was like, Auntie, how do you know this song? She said, how do you know this song? I haven't heard it for like 40 years. This is our family song. Thank you for bringing it home. And so I broke down and I cried. Even thinking about it now, I'm like, don't cry. But it's such a gift in how things come back to you and through you. And so this is the Creator song to honor all of creation and the next steps that we were taking with the new season ahead. Ouch. Sorry, my hip just popped and I kind of fall over a little bit. Speaking of hips. It's been of people like so close to bears lately. Like, we forgot how to honor and respect their personal space, especially now, because there's cubs beside them. Be smart, people. Like, I don't know about you, but when something I don't know about gets too close to my baby, I'll lose my mind. I chased a bobcat down my back alley because he was too close to my cat. Like, I will lose my mind. And so bears are the exact same, especially mama bears. They will lose their mind. And so keep your distance. Make sure you're not coming in between a mama and her cubs. Be smart about it. And so the bear teaches us to pay attention. Pay attention to the world around us. Oh, I just keep seeing all these like videos of people so close, and I'm like, what are you doing? So, because if the bear comes at you because they're defending something, you're gonna get hurt, and that bear's gonna get put down, and that's not fair for you being an idiot. Just saying. And so I think it's really important just to honor and respect like what we share nature with. People get really upset if there's like a bobcat in their yard. I'm like, I will defend my territory, but I know this is also their home, so I'm not gonna like try and kill them or anything like that, because I'm like, okay, just this is my space. Don't hurt my baby. You can have at her in my backyard. There's rabbits there. Go for it. And so, but it's really about remembering that our cities are in their home, not the other way around. And so, yeah, the bear teaches us that. It teaches us about territory, it teaches us about boundaries, it teaches us about strength and courage. The strength to stand up for what's right in our community and defend our family and friends, but also the courage to be ourselves, because the bear can't be anything but the bear. It teaches us it can't be the bird, because it can't fly and gravity works. It can't be a fish, because it has fur and it would just flop around and get uncomfortable. And so it can only be the bear. Just like we can only be ourselves. The bear teaches us what to eat and when to eat it. It will teach us when certain berries are in season. There's a particular type of berry, a bearberry. Well, we would know it as a bearberry. I think they changed the name of it to like a bisonberry, but like that's not what it is. It's a bearberry. And they only eat it when it's ripe, and it's usually only ripe every 4 years. And so for the last 6 years, they haven't been ripe. But this year they started to eat them again. So we know that they're ready to go this year, which is great because that's really strong medicine. But the bear teaches us that. The bear also teaches us like what not to eat. So if there's something wrong with fish, for example, in Williams Lake, they stopped eating the fish. First Nation people were like, we're eating the fish. We're not going to touch those fish because there's something wrong with them. And sure enough, science proved that there was actually something wrong with the fish. There was a microorganism making everybody who actually ate them sick. The bear knew it. They didn't touch the fish. The First Nations people who watched the bear knew it. They didn't touch the fish, and nobody else got the memo. And so the bear is so brilliant. It teaches us about timing as well. It always knows when to go to sleep, when to wake up, when to move, when to birth its children, when to teach its children things, when to let its children go. And the bear always teaches us about that timing and about patience, but also about paying attention, recognizing that we're part of a greater whole. And even though the bear is this big, massive creature, it doesn't strip the land. It only takes what it needs, and it always leaves something behind. And we need to do the same. And so this is the bear song. And this is an Anishinaabe song. the last song I'm going to leave you with is the Traveling Song from my elder Sharon Prue Turner. When she passed, this song disappeared from my life, but then I was thinking about her a lot, and I ended up working with the High Performance Rodeo of all places, meeting these wonderful Anishinaabe women that came down, and they're like, hey, can you help us share a song for this show? And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And then they sang it, and I broke down in tears. I was crying. They were like, are you okay? I'm like, I know this song. It was Sharon's song, and it came back. And whenever we're on the right path, it's important to acknowledge those things and let those things come back into your life, whether they be family songs that come back and they travel back to you, but or just the songs that elders had held for so long, gifted to you, and they come back through other people. Is that reminder that our elders and our ancestors are with us every single day. And so on that note, may your ancestors guide your path. This song, the Traveling Song, is really about taking those steps forward and recognizing that that past is leading us forward down this path. And it's not about reaching a final destination. It's about the journey and the growth that we have and the things that we get to share with our future generations. Yeah. So this is the Traveling Song. May you all have a beautiful week ahead. I hope I can see you next week. And if not, I hope you have a really wonderful National Indigenous Day. And I will see you the week after. Everyone, thank you so much for joining me this week, and I hope everyone has a beautiful week ahead. I will hopefully see you next week, and if not, the week after. Have a brilliant next few days. May the solstice bring all of the joy and insight that you need for the next step ahead, and I will hopefully see you soon. Miigwech, everyone. Good night. Hi.